Welcome to the System Design Practice Series from the AI Mock Interviewer Question Bank. System Design Part 1. This episode has 15 questions. For each question, take a moment to think through your own answer before I share a strong approach. Question 1. Diagram or system design. Draw and explain a high-level architecture diagram for a full-stack Python application with React, FastAPI, PostgreSQL, Redis, workers, and object storage. Here's a strong way to approach it. Show browser or React leads to CDN or frontend hosting leads to API gateway or ingress leads to FastAPI leads to PostgreSQL, Redis, object storage, and queue leads to worker. Explain synchronous request paths separately from async processing. Label off, secrets, observability, autoscaling, backups, and failure points. A simple diagram can use boxes for services and arrows for data flow, with Redis for cache or session or rate limit and workers for slow jobs. Nice. Let's continue. Question 2. Diagram or data flow. Draw the request flow for user login from browser to backend, database, token or session creation, and frontend state update. Here's a strong way to approach it. Draw browser leads to login, API leads to user table or password verification leads to session or JWT creation leads to secure cookie or token response leads to frontend state update leads to protected API call. Mention password hashing, rate limiting, MFA if needed, CSRF for cookie off, refresh token rotation, audit logging, and server-side authorization on every protected request. Great. Moving on. Question 3. Diagram or upload flow. Draw a file upload and async processing architecture using signed URLs, object storage, a queue, workers, and status tracking. Here's a strong way to approach it. Draw browser leads to API creates upload record leads to API returns signed URL leads to browser uploads to object storage leads to storage event or finalize call leads to queue leads to worker leads to status table leads to frontend, pulls or receives updates. Explain why large files should bypass the API, and include validation, virus scanning, retries, dead letter queue, encryption, and access control. Alright, next question. Question 4. Diagram or RAG. Draw a RAG architecture diagram showing document ingestion, chunking, embeddings, vector database, retrieval, prompt construction, LLM call, and citations. Here's a strong way to approach it. Draw ingestion flow and query flow separately. Ingestion. Documents leads to parser leads to chunks leads to embeddings leads to vector DB with metadata. Query. User question leads to embedding leads to vector search or filter leads to retrieved chunks leads to prompt builder leads to LLM leads to answer with citations. Add permissions, freshness, evaluation, logging, token cost, and feedback loop. Let's keep going. Question 5. Diagram or CI/CD. Draw a CI or CD pipeline diagram for a Python full-stack app from pull request to production deployment and rollback. Here's a strong way to approach it. Draw PR leads to lint or test or security scan leads to build frontend or backend images leads to push registry leads to deploy staging leads to smoke tests leads to approval leads to production rollout leads to monitor leads to rollback. Include database migration checks, artifact promotion, image scanning, environment config, deployment markers, feature flags, and rollback to the previous image or revision. On to the next one. Question 6. Diagram or Kubernetes. Draw a Kubernetes deployment diagram for frontend, backend API, worker, Redis, managed PostgreSQL, ingress, secrets, and autoscaling. Here's a strong way to approach it. Draw ingress or TLS leads to frontend service and backend service leads to backend deployment leads to Redis or managed cache, managed PostgreSQL, object storage, and queue leads to worker deployment. Add config maps, secrets, service accounts, HPA, readiness or liveness probes, network policies, and observability sidecars or agents if used. Prefer managed databases over running PostgreSQL in the app namespace for production. Good. Here's another one. Question 7. Diagram or observability. Draw an observability diagram showing metrics, logs, traces, dashboards, alerts, and incident response flow. Here's a strong way to approach it. Draw application services emitting logs, metrics, and traces to collectors or agents, then to monitoring or logging or tracing backends. Dashboards read from telemetry stores, monitors trigger alerts, alerts route to Slack or PagerDuty, and runbooks guide responders. Include correlation IDs, deployment markers, slow dashboards, and feedback from incidents into backlog improvements. Nice. Let's continue. Question 8. Diagram or sequence. Draw a sequence diagram for a user asking an AI assistant a question and receiving a streamed answer with citations. Here's a strong way to approach it. Show user leads to frontend leads to chat API leads to retriever leads to vector DB leads to prompt builder leads to LLM leads to streaming response leads to frontend. Also show metadata logging, citation lookup, safety checks before and after generation, and feedback capture. In a sequence diagram, order matters, retrieval happens before prompt construction, and streaming begins after the LLM starts producing tokens. Great. Moving on. Question 9. Diagram or resilience. Draw a failure handling diagram for an unreliable third-party API using retries, queues, idempotency keys, dead letter queues, and reconciliation. Here's a strong way to approach it. Draw API request leads to durable job queue leads to worker leads to third-party API. On transient failure, retry with backoff and jitter. On repeated failure, send to dead letter queue and mark status failed or pending. Use idempotency keys to prevent duplicate side effects, and add reconciliation jobs to compare local state with provider state. Show user visible statuses like pending, completed, or failed. Alright, next question. Question 10. Diagram or security. Draw a multi-tenant SaaS security diagram showing off tenant isolation, database scoping, cache scoping, audit logs, and admin access. Here's a strong way to approach it. Draw identity provider leads to backend auth middleware leads to tenant resolver leads to policy checks leads to database queries scoped by tenant ID or raw level security. Show cache keys containing tenant scope, object storage paths scoped by tenant, audit logs for sensitive actions, and admin access through separate privileged workflows. Emphasize that tenant isolation must be enforced server-side, not only in the UI. Let's keep going. Question 11. Diagram or scaling. Draw how the architecture changes when traffic grows from 1,000 users to 1 million users. Here's a strong way to approach it. Start with one frontend, API, database, cache, and worker. At higher scale add CDN, load balancer, horizontal API replicas, Redis cache, async queues, read replicas, database indexes or partitioning, auto-scaling workers, object storage, rate limiting, observability, and slows. Explain each change as solving a bottleneck, not as adding complexity by default. On to the next one. Question 12. Diagram or interview. In a system design interview, how do you present a diagram clearly while explaining trade-offs, bottlenecks, and failure modes? Here's a strong way to approach it. Start with requirements and scale, then draw the main user flow left to right. Keep boxes high level first, then zoom into storage, async jobs, caching, security, and observability. Label data stores and protocols. Explain why each component exists. Call out bottlenecks and failure modes, and discuss trade-offs such as consistency versus availability, cost versus latency, and build versus managed service. Good. Here's another one. Question 13. Difference between RTO and RPO. Here's a strong way to approach it. RTO is recovery time objective, the maximum acceptable time to restore service. RPO is recovery point objective, the maximum acceptable data loss measured in time. For example, an RTO of 1 hour and RPO of 5 minutes means restore within 1 hour and lose no more than 5 minutes of data. Nice. Let's continue. Question 14. What is system design? Here's a strong way to approach it. System design is the process of defining architecture, components, data flow, scalability, reliability, security, and operational behavior for a software system. In interviews, it is important to clarify requirements, estimate scale, choose trade-offs, and explain failure handling. Detailed interview explanation. System design should be explained as a system design concept with clear trade-offs. Start by clarifying requirements, users, scale, latency, availability, consistency, data volume, security, compliance, and cost. Then explain components, data flow, failure modes, scaling strategy, and operations. Production example. A scalable system often includes clients, an API gateway or load balancer, stateless services, caches, queues or streams, databases, object storage, workers, observability, CI or CD, and security controls. For Kubernetes or MLOps platforms, add GitOps, policy enforcement, model registry, feature pipelines, autoscaling, and tenant isolation. Best practices to mention. Scale stateless services horizontally behind load balancers. Use caching, queues, partitioning, and replication for performance and resilience. Define consistency needs before choosing database and replication patterns. Reduce blast radius with isolation, rate limits, circuit breakers, and progressive rollout. Include observability, slows, disaster recovery, and cost governance. Common interview follow-ups. Expect questions about CAP theorem, cache invalidation, database sharding, queue back pressure, multi-region failover, idempotency, API versioning, rate limiting, and how you would operate the system after launch. Great. Moving on. Question 15. Explain scalability. Here's a strong way to approach it. Scalability is the ability of a system to handle increased load by adding resources or improving efficiency. It can involve horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, caching, partitioning, asynchronous processing, and autoscaling. Detailed interview explanation. Scalability should be explained as a system design concept with clear trade-offs. Start by clarifying requirements, users, scale, latency, availability, consistency, data volume, security, compliance, and cost. Then explain components, data flow, failure modes, scaling strategy, and operations. Production example. A scalable system often includes clients, an API gateway or load balancer, stateless services, caches, queues or streams, databases, object storage, workers, observability, CI or CD, and security controls. For Kubernetes or MLOps platforms, add GitOps, policy enforcement, model registry, feature pipelines, autoscaling, and tenant isolation. Best practices to mention. Scale stateless services horizontally behind load balancers. Use caching, queues, partitioning, and replication for performance and resilience. Define consistency needs before choosing database and replication patterns. Reduce blast radius with isolation, rate limits, circuit breakers, and progressive rollout. Include observability, slows, disaster recovery, and cost governance. Common interview follow-ups. Expect questions about CAP theorem, cache invalidation, database sharding, queue back pressure, multi-region failover, idempotency, API versioning, rate limiting, and how you would operate the system after launch. Alright, next question. That wraps up this episode. Nice work practicing, and see you in the next one.